what's up, all you cool cats and kittens? Welcome back to more reactions. My name is Jeff. This clip we're going to be looking at is from Skip and Shan talking about the Last Dance episode from last night. I think it was episodes 5 and 6. And this is the part of the Atlantic City gambling trip during the playoffs that Jordan took. So let's get straight to it.
Tonight we got a detailed view into how much Michael Jordan gambled. Before an Eastern Conference Finals game against the Knicks, MJ was seen gambling at a casino the night before, and the Bulls lost that game.
Yep.
It soon became publicly known that Jordan would be gambling thousands of dollars
Which,
at a time,
if he had
and became
Twitter
a
and social
major
media
topic
back then,
in the
and these
sports world.
24-hour
So Shannon, how
debate
much do you
shows,
believe
he
the
would've got
gambling
killed
controversy had to do
in the
with
media,
Jordan stepping
more so than he
away from basketball?
It might have some, but I think the biggest thing for me, Skip, is that since he got into the league, Skip, he was never, ever normal again. And he talked about it. He was lying on the couch and he's smoking a cigar. And he said, you know, a lot of people say they want to be Michael Jordan for a day.
You don't.
He said, but that wouldn't be right. He says, you need to be Michael Jordan for a year.
True.
And realize, Skip, we talk about this, Skip. Think about this, Skip, for just a second. What we've been going through since the middle of February, where we can't go dine, you can't go to a restaurant, you can't go out and hang out. That's Michael Jordan
facts.
for almost 40
That's
years.
facts, and we losing our minds.
He can't go to the movies
That's
with
fact,
his kids.
man.
He's never been able to be
true
normal
story, man.
with his kids. He was never able to be normal.
Yeah.
We're complaining about Skip. We've been shut down for about 2 months. Michael Jordan was shut down for almost 40 years.
Yeah, man. Michael Jordan's been quarantined this whole time.
But what really started to wear on Skip is that as great as he was,
That's
he says,
crazy.
I've had
Yeah,
no
that's true.
missteps. No one says I came out and assaulted anybody, or I punched somebody in a bar, or I cursed some kid out, or I did something. I didn't do that. But what he found out, Skip, is that no matter how great you are, people will start to look for ways to try to tear you down.
Yep.
And that's what started to happen. Sam Smith he was an investigative reporter. I didn't know that at the time, Skip, until last night, that his background was investigative reporting. And so, Skip, when you're an investigative reporter, you start looking for things. That's normal things that people that's writing a story. Skip, you write a story, Skip, you're not trying to look, okay, where did he come from? What was his past? Did anybody do anything shady? Was he ever arrested? Did he hang with a gang? That's not what you do. You write the story, trying to tell a story, but that's not what they did. They started trying to look for things.
Right.
Michael Jordan was like, man, but I tell you what, Skip, baby, not to change subjects too far, now you should have a greater appreciation for one LeBron James.
Facts.
Michael Jordan grew up in an era where there was no social
No
media.
social
There was
media,
really no
and
24
that's been my
hour
argument the
shows. There
whole
was no
time,
debate
bro.
shows. Everybody did not have an opinion on Michael Jordan.
Right.
This is what GOAT James has had to deal with. He grew up in a social media era.
Thank you.
With the constant
Tiger
because,
Woods was the
you
shit.
saw what happened.
And you
Going
saw
back
what
to
happened to
that
Tiger
three-peat,
Woods.
trying
He
to get that
never
depression
recovered.
and how it started to wear on him. Woo. And he's like, man, look here. And David Aldridge was telling the story last night. He said, man, if y'all don't be careful, say Magic told him, y'all gonna run him out of the game.
Yep.
And that's exactly what I believe happened, Skip. But also what wasn't in that, Skip, did you know when they was down 0-2, they were playing the Knicks in game 3. Did you know, Skip, Michael Jordan went 3 from 18 from the floor and they still won that game? Now let go, James had done that. Now somebody saved Michael Jordan's legacy. Now I don't know who it was, but somebody saved that man's legacy. Skip, I liked
Right, look at
last
Skip.
night. Last night was my favorite episode because Michael Jordan was very open. He was the most open and honest I've been. I was glad, Skip, he didn't run from the comment that Republicans buy sneakers. Skip, I also believe that he said it in jest. We say a lot of things, Skip, that we might be joking
He ain't say that
around,
in jest,
but if
bro.
somebody else heard it
His actions
and
prove
all they
he
heard
ain't say
was
that in
you
jest.
say that, they automatically assumed it. Man, did you hear what he said?
And he would have got
And he
killed
got back
by Black Twitter.
It was. But
The
Skip,
whole
like he said,
cancel
I didn't
culture
get in
was
this to be
Jordan on that.
activist,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's not his. That was not his calling. Skip, I like that Michael said I was just wanting to be a basketball player,
Man,
but Skip, the
listen,
most
bro.
touching, the most
Y'all
last
gave
night when
Jordan
he
force
said,
field,
Skip,
man.
if he had a
Me
chance
too,
to do
because
it
I was
over
a
again,
Jordan stan.
I'm not so sure I would want to do this. I don't know if I would want to be a role model because I'm already set up for failure. Skip, that broke my heart. This is the most popular man maybe ever. Maybe only Ali and Tiger can rival him. And he says, I don't know, man. He says, I don't know.
It's a lot of pressure.
Wow. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Skip. Here he is, Michael Jordan at the apex, the crescendo. And he says, I don't know, man. He says, because is it worth it?
He's still a human being, though, so.
Are you finished?
I'm finished, Skip.
Okay, all right. Let's get back to Jenny's initial question about how much did gambling have to do with the almost 2 years that he suddenly shockingly
He got suspended.
Took off in
And
the
they some
heart of
cowards
his
for not
prime
even
at
not
ages
admitting that.
30 and 31. Again, I worked in Chicago in 1998. I was there for The Last Dance as the lead columnist of the Chicago Tribune. I saw it from the inside out. I heard all the stories. Sam Smith was a teammate of mine for those years I was in Chicago. And what I continued to hear from people on the inside, and this is in 1998, and by the way, the interview you talked about where he's sitting on his couch with his cigar, that's in a hotel room in 1998. 98. We're talking about 93. After the first three-peat, he suddenly walked away from basketball. How much did gambling have to do with that?
He got suspended, bro.
I say everything.
Yes.
You could argue that he was getting burned out, as he indicated there
It was a
in the
silent
documentary.
suspension
At
by
that
David
point,
Stern, man.
you can argue that he got burned out from all the negative publicity that ensued after all of his gambling was revealed.
Right.
But that wasn't
When
from
that
Sam
loan
Smith.
became an
That wasn't
actual
about the
gambling
Jordan
debt,
rules.
that was the
just
suspension
about
right there.
going to Atlantic City after the first two losses to the Knicks and taking a public beating for that. And as Michael said, he got asked by the league office about that. And his answer was, well, it's legal to go to a casino. I like to play blackjack. And then the book came out, that Richard Esquinas book, you know, Michael and Me, and he alleged in the book, Esquinas did, he's like a professional sort of hustler gambler, that Michael had lost $1.25 million to him on the golf course. This was in 1993, when that was a whole lot of money.
Yeah, this ain't 2020
And
where it's like,
that was a
you know.
bad look for the league, and it led to questions about, gee, if Michael is gambling so heavily off the course, then what about the people he's associating with, which led to his association with this Slim Bowler, another criminal, convicted criminal, that he was playing golf with regularly, and it was not reported whether he lost or won money. It was just the association with Slim Bowler. Not a good look for the
He
league.
looked like his name
And again,
Slim.
David Stern, very unhappy with that image, right? So
That was
all
my
this
first time seeing a picture of
fallout.
dude, man, video. I was like, yeah.
He did lose, remember, because there was a $57,000 check when the fans went looking at Slim
Yeah,
Bowler.
he did.
He
Right.
said it was a
man.
loan.
Yeah, and he
And
said
then
it
they
was
finally called him
loan,
to
that's
court.
true.
Right, and then he finally came to
Yeah.
court, and he actually had to say what it was for. It was a gambling
Right,
debt I had
right.
lost, and I had to pay it off.
Suspended.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So it looked a little shady.
Man, just
that
say
you're
it.
losing money to professional gamblers, which could indicate you could get yourself in a bind when they came back to you and said, hey, if you'd shave a few points tonight, I'll relieve
Right.
your debt. I'll forgive your debt,
Right.
right? You
The Tim
don't have to
Donaghy.
pay me back. If you'll just make sure, bring in the game under 10 points tonight, which is the point spread, then we're good. You know, we're even if you can do that for me. And that was the speculation of the time. Gee, would Michael be, you know, could he possibly fall prey to that? Could he be susceptible to that kind of thinking?
And that's why he was
And
suspended.
nothing was ever proven. Nothing was ever even alleged about that. But that was the league's fear at that point.
Right.
And Michael got sick and tired of having to answer questions about it. So even going into those finals, remember, he did that sit down that he requested with Ahmad Rashad, who was probably his best friend in the world. Ahmad Rashad obviously played your game, played pro football for a while, and Michael really loved him and sort of honored him. Yes, he was Bobby Moore for a while. Then he was Ahmad Rashad, if you remember. So, right. So the point was that he did a sit down with Ahmad before the finals started against Barkley's Phoenix Suns, and he wanted to answer
Hey,
all the
he looked
gambling questions
hot,
one more
too, in
time.
that
And Ahmad
video.
said in the documentary, well, he did wear
grown man eyes
sunglasses,
versus
which
watching
Ahmad
as a
didn't
kid,
love because it looked like he
had
was
the
trying to
glasses
hide his
on.
eyes
He
behind the
was, like,
sunglasses.
extra
So
emotional.
the point
Like, is he
was,
high?
what I always heard in my year in Chicago around the '98 Bulls was that it had a lot to do with gambling, that even the appearance of it got so bad that David Stern, who has denied this repeatedly, even in the documentary, David Stern said it never reached epic crisis levels.
That's Goodell
gambling.
burned the
I just think
Spygate
it was
tapes,
so bad
basically.
image-wise that he encouraged Michael to step away.
He got suspended. Like, yeah, he got encouraged. All right, hey, go home. That's just like, I understand trying to protect. It's sticky, man. Listen, all I'm saying is, now you can admit that that's what happened, because that's what everybody assumed happened anyway. Will it take away from his legacy? Will we now crown LeBron James as the greatest of all time? I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Watching this through the eyes of an adult versus me having grown up through this period, and then watching LeBron, the biggest difference, I think, with athletes today versus yesteryear is social media. Every single day, every single minute, you have to be on because of smartphones and cameras and tablets. Jordan didn't have to deal with it as much of a struggle as it was to be Michael Jordan. He didn't have to deal with social media. He still had a force field that was protecting him at all times. And I mean, I'm talking like from the fans and from the media. You know, and I say Tiger Woods was the shift. When Thanksgiving night happened, what was that, 2010, whatever year that was. That Tiger Woods was the first one. He was the one who was outside of social media and then became inside social media. Like, he was the shift. And he went from being this untouchable demigod almost to becoming really human really quickly. And I'm not even talking about just his celebrity. I'm talking about as a quote unquote athlete. So with the gambling debts, with the, all the other stuff, my point is, people like to say that LeBron James is mentally soft. He doesn't have that kill, blah, 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 blah. We all know, we all heard statements. And that's not true. He wasn't a me first, shoot first basketball player like a Jordan, like a Kobe. He's more Magic. We've always said he's more Magic Johnson than anything, right? He could just score like Jordan if he wanted to, somewhat. So we equate, him making the good read, the good pass to, and he don't have that kill. That never made sense. Him going to Miami was the coward move, and he went through the fire. Let me say this: they weren't good, but Michael Jordan has never experienced in his entire career, at any point in his life, a game like LeBron did going back to Cleveland that first year in Miami. There's never been a sporting event in the United States. Now, I'm not saying over, international, because they, soccer, they crazy over there. They crazy over there, right? But here, in these here United States, there has never been an event, a sporting event of that kind of, that had like a feeling of danger, where you had to have, forget security, you had to have police there, like feds there, like it felt dangerous to be in that city for him to be in that city and for him to be in that arena, because people are crazy, right? Jordan has never experienced anything like that. And by the way, he played well that game, even though Cleveland was terrible. So I'm not gonna, but I'm just saying he could have choked and he didn't, but whatever. But then the man went through that fire and then came back home. And like people say, like, well, LeBron will never have the effect of a Michael Jordan. And I'm just like, overall, yeah, but the gap isn't that wide. Go back and go on YouTube and watch clips of LeBron announcing that he's going back to Cleveland. You had Jay Crawford, who I think Jay Crawford was on Sports. I think he was on Sports Center. He Sports Center or First Take or something. The man was damn near crying on the set on live TV, because that's how much that meant for that city, for that region, for that economy. So don't tell me like that didn't matter. Like overnight, LeBron went from the biggest heel in basketball to the number one face when he decided to come home to Cleveland. And 2 years later, he brings them their first championship. Like this documentary to me, again, Jordan is more accomplished. He's 6-0 in the finals, 6 MVPs. I get that, but to say LeBron didn't go through the fire and didn't have the weight of the league on his shoulders, and quite frankly is a better basketball player. He's a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. He is. He does more things better. He does more things well than Jordan did. He came in as Jordan had become a team guy. You know what I'm saying? Like say that out loud. Jordan had to become he had to learn to make the right pass to get and it was crazy. Watch that play. The Phoenix final shot from Paxson. It was literally the triangle that happened that he didn't want it to have instilled into the playbook because it was gonna take the ball out of his hands. But yet that's the exact that formation is what exactly won him his third championship, like in real time. Like, so he gets credit for doing it, but like y'all. And I'm a Jordan stan. Like, I just gotta be honest, man. Jordan's more accomplished, but if you ask me who's a better player, it's LeBron James, man. He just is. He yeah. That's all I got. Let me know what you guys. Tell me if I'm wrong, where I'm wrong at, because I'm 38. This was my prime sports. It was my life at the time. I ain't have to. I ain't have a wife and kids and family to provide for, and Duke Energy bills to pay. Like literally, it was school, sports, and watching sports with my friends. So I breathe all the Jordan stuff. But again, looking at it through the eyes of an adult, and then watching LeBron come through, it's just what it is. What it is, But yeah. By the way, Isaiah Thomas, man, he don't get enough respect. And and that's the thing, like Jordan has ruined his legacy too. And Isaiah beat Jordan, Magic, Bird in their primes. Was the only one to do it. And it's just like, man, this is crazy when you just understand like what's happening. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I wrong in my assessment of comparing LeBron to Jordan? Again, I think the social media aspect is a big in the 24-hour sports debate shows. Every single day this happens. That wasn't available back then. It was SportsCenter, bro. So Jordan didn't have a Skip Bayless to deal with every single day. And I don't know how he would have handled it because he did media freeze outs for several seasons. Hey, come on, man. Like, listen, just let me know what y'all think. Yeah. I've been sour on Jordan since the Hall of Fame speech. I'm like, dude's an asshole, bro. And that's okay. You could be that and still be, a champion and be, great. But it's just that mental toughness that everybody tries to make him the key figure in. I'm like, that might be a false narrative, because either he quit after the first three-peat because he was exhausted. He quit on his team during his prime and their peak. If we're gonna say he wasn't suspended. So I still think LeBron going to Miami is worse. That was, look, listen, I thought that was some sucker soft stuff, right? But he made up for it by going back. So I kind of equate Jordan leaving after the first three-peat to LeBron going to Miami. It's not the same. LeBron's is way worse. I get that. But, I mean, either he quit on his team or he got suspended. He got to go play base. I'm tired. I'm burnt out. I want to spend time with my family. And then you going to play AA baseball. By the way, props to him on the baseball career. Like, people clowning for it. But for him to hit 225 or whatever it was, 250, having not played since you was in grade school is actually pretty incredible, because hitting a baseball is literally the hardest thing to do in all the sports, is hitting a baseball. That is not my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, that is facts. So props to him for that. He's a great athlete. But anyway, make sure you like the video. Let's try to get this video like 25 likes. I should say 23. But let's get 25 likes. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you get notified when I upload my next video, which will be coming soon. What else? That's it. Share the video. Let's get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. I said my piece. What's your response? All right. I'll get you guys later. Stay safe. Stay quarantined. Peace out.